You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
And then they sleep outside in like a canvas house.
A what?
Yeah, they call it camping.
Oh my God, that sounds terrible.
None of us are going to do this, Eli.
Well, then I am not going back to work.
Oh, for fuck's
Guys, what's up? What are you talking about?
Eli gave us a list of demands, or he's going on strike.
Yeah, and he's been in the bathroom all morning, and he won't even come out to record. Get out of there, Eli.
Gosh, what?
You are just against workers' rights, Tom, is what
We're
you are.
all workers, dumbass.
Tom, add that Noah can't call me a dumbass to my demands.
Okay,
All right,
that's
fine.
more
That is
reasonable.
demand 468. No one's going to read all these.
Wait, what are the other ones?
They're ridiculous.
Yeah, 1 out of every 5 meals has to be vegan.
On Earth.
Nope, absolutely not. Nope.
And also, number 1, we have to give him belly rubs when he, quote, makes a funny.
Oh, hard no.
And listen to this one.
No.
We have to end every episode with a 3-minute long group hug.
Not happening. Nope.
No.
Okay, well then you know what? I'm not coming out then.
Great.
That's where we are.
Okay, so what do we do?
Well, plan A.
We did plan A last week when he wouldn't come out of his blanket fort.
I think it'll work again. I think
Yeah.
it'll work.
It always does. It always works.
We want it to.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
A.
All right. Eli, guess I'm just going to have to eat all this vegan chocolate ice cream all by myself then.
Wait, Cecil, before you
so
eat all that
good.
vegan ice cream, you have ice
So
cream?
good.
You have,
Oh, yeah. Ice cream.
does it have coconut sprinkles?
Gross.
It wouldn't be Wednesday without coconut sprinkles, now would it?
Can I have some if I come out?
You sure can, buddy. Yeah.
Okay, tase him.
You think that maybe we should just give him the ice cream one of these times?
Thank you, Heath.
Got it. Hello and welcome to Citation Needed, the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts because this is the internet and that's how it works now. I'm Heath, and fuck you if you don't support unions. We'll explain, but we should not have to.
Really shouldn't.
And joining me tonight are the union reps for the 80s cover band guild, I guess, Cecil and Noah.
The real problem is negotiating prices with Picketmaster.
That's so good. Well, no, that's tough, but like the scheduling is a bitch with all our members having their kids every other weekend too, so that never get everybody together.
And also joining us tonight, 2 men who often end their between meal hunger strikes by eating scabs, Tom and Eli.
Heath, if you know a better way to support a strong workforce, I'm listening.
If you're not going to eat them, why bother picking them?
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Different scabs?
That's the type of scab I meant, Tom. Thank you. So,
That's not what I meant kill cowards.
No, we all understood.
Okay.
Got it.
Just for clarity.
I love that Eli's talking about eating humans, and then with Tom, I'm like, oh, gross, dude.
Yeah.
All right, Eli, why don't you go ahead and tell us what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event are we going to be talking about today?
Today, we'll be talking about the Ludlow Massacre, because if anything screams comedy potential, it's an event that ends in the word massacre.
You know this
right.
show.
And Noah, you're currently a resident of Them Thar Hills, Georgia. Are you ready to expose some veins like you're going through airport security?
Apparently, yeah. Uh-huh.
Great. So, what was the Ludlow Massacre?
It was the bloody end of a miners' strike in Colorado that took place 105 years ago on Saturday. You remember when Ronald Reagan fired all the air traffic controllers?
Yeah.
It's like that, except if he'd ordered the National Guard to burn down their homes and shoot them, too.
All right, great. So the David Koresh episode, plus like a little bit of the Centralia, Pennsylvania episode, plus old-timey voices. This is going to be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much the synopsis. Okay, so in Colorado, coal was the weed of the 1890s, right? That's what made the state go. Coal veins in the Rockies are super accessible, and in the ever-expanding web of railroads, mining became damn viable in Colorado in the late 1860s. This drew a ton of new investment into the area, and by its peak in 1910, the coal industry was employing at least 1 out of every 10 people in the state.
Yeah, and 7 out of 10 of those were prostitutes for those coal miners. So they run through a lot of prostitutes.
No, they did. They
Do
go
they have
deep.
to replace the track on the prostitutes too?
It's job creation. It's important.
Yeah, it's trickle down. It's a trickle all over the fucking place. But
Hey, we broke through another shaft on this one.
Low job creation.
Another gusher. All right, so almost all of these people worked for one of 3 major mining conglomerates, the largest of which was John D. Rockefeller's own Colorado Fuel and Iron. Needless to say, though, back in the turn of the last century, colliers had a hell of a lot worse a job than they do today.
Okay, I feel like it's only right that we acknowledge the only reason this essay exists is so Noah could prove he knew the word colliers. I just want to throw that out there.
No, I totally didn't. I learned it when I was researching this. I was really proud of that. That was a new word for me.
How many
Good
of the
word.
colliers were Etruscan? That's the real...
All right, so now obviously this work is inherently dangerous, but lax attitudes towards mine safety made it a hell of a lot worse. In 1912, the death rate in Colorado's mines was 7 people per 1,000 per year.
What?
Now the national rate for anyone in any job was 3.15 per 1,000, so it sucked for everybody back then.
Jesus
But
Christ.
yeah, coal mining was particularly bad.
Yeah, 7 deaths per 1,000 miners per year. That's obviously rough, but that average across every job is terrifying.
Right?
You know, in 1912, just some average salesman could work a double shift and be pretty much tied with coal miners on the odds of dying that day. What the fuck was happening?
Why did I get into coal sales? This just triples my odds.
All right, so now, and what's more, coal mining in Colorado was even worse. They consistently had a higher casualty rate than other coal mines in other states where at least the feeble safety laws were being maintained. To make matters worse, miners were generally paid in tonnage, and that's it. Right? So, like, anytime you spent shoring up loose timbers or laying tracks or tending to your own safety in any way was entirely uncompensated.
Oh, I thought you meant they got paid in coal. I was like, that doesn't sound fair.
I got another ton of coal. This seems circular. I should be paid in money. This is
You should come by this weekend. We're gonna barbecue. Yeah, we're gonna barbecue.
Actually, no, I gotta say, honestly, they're getting. It's worse than getting paid in coal. We'll get to it, but occasionally it's even worse than them just getting paid in some of the coal they just dug up.
Yeah.
So, but the end result though is that a lot of these
God, I
colliers.
hope they were immigrants. Jesus Christ.
Oh, don't you worry, Cecil. America hasn't changed that much in 100 years, bro. All right, so obviously this led to a lot of desperate colliers cutting corners and taking really risky gambles. In 1913 alone, 104 men died in Colorado mines and another 6 died on the surface in mine-related accidents.
Yeah, all this cutting corners makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, if something goes wrong, it's important for you to make sure that it goes wrong for you.
All right.
I ain't measuring twice. Fuck you. It's just me. What the fuck?
I'll cut as many times as I want.
I'm not even getting paid to survive the day. Whatever.
All right, but now, okay, but to be clear, dying all over the place wasn't the only thing that made the job suck.
Yeah, no one cleaned the break room microwave either.
They
It was a
didn't.
horror show in there.
No, they didn't. Not for like at least, 70 years or something?
Just put a lid on the coal when you throw it in the microwave. Jesus.
So most of these mines also operated with company towns, which meant like the mine owned the workers' home and the only store they were allowed to shop at. And to make sure that they only shot where they were supposed to and they didn't sneak off, the mine employed company guards who carried around rifles with soft point bullets to keep everyone inside said company town.
Wow.
Wikipedia quotes historian Philip S. Foner describing the company towns as, quote, feudal domains where the company acted as lord and master, end quote.
Yeah, and now companies buy your meals and put a dry cleaner in the building so you barely notice you've put in 60 hours every week this year and your wife is fucking the yoga instructor while you're working on your second heart attack. So much better.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
105
better.
years of improvement, exactly.
Got a sushi guy.
So, with this much control over their lives, as you can imagine, the mine owners took every effort to discourage unionization. They fired and evicted people suspected of organizing. The company guards broke up any unauthorized meetings of any kind. Like if you got too many people playing a fucking board game, that was broke up. And some of the mines even made it a practice of trying to put immigrants with different languages together in some like Tower of Babel-esque scheme.
I love that so
to
much.
keep them from like even knowing each other's names and shit, I guess.
Jesus.
Wow. So being a coal miner in 1912, it's a lot like being a public school teacher right now. That's interesting. It's interesting. Well, except the bullets used to be a lot safer. They were
Yeah, no, they were soft point bullets, right?
Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous Minds.
with that song by Coolio.
Nice.
All right. So as bad as things were in Colorado mines, no amount of effort was going to keep the United Mine Workers of America out of the state. And once they got a foothold, they decided to go after Colorado Fuel and Iron, both because it was the biggest target, but also because it was reported anyway to be the most egregious violator of the meager labor rights of the day. So in 1913, the union presents a list of 7 demands to the mine owners.
Yeah, they had to hand it to him because they kept trying to nail it to the mine entrance, but the mine just kept collapsing.
Actually, that's close.
3 today. We're going to mail this instead.
All right, so by today's standard of employment, the demands of the miners were impossibly reasonable. Here they are. This is all of them. 1, recognition of the United Mine Workers of America and collective bargaining, kind of a prerequisite to all the other stuff, right? That's demand number 1 is read this letter, basically. 2, compensation for digging coal at a ton rate based on 2,000 pounds, which is...
Isn't that the amount?
Yeah, that's how much a ton weighs.
Got
Up
it.
until now, they'd been using the long ton, which is 2,200 pounds.
That's amazing. Or other option, you can pay us in long dollars, which equal $1.10.
Yeah, there you go, right.
It's up to you guys at the mining company. We're flexible on this second one.
Demand 3, enforcement of the 8-hour workday law. So, just not breaking the law. Number 4, payment for dead work. That's all the track laying, brace adding, safety shit that we talked about earlier.
Great, yeah. Demand number 4, no partial slavery.
Yeah.
So, great. Nothing ending with the word slavery, starting, just nothing with the word slavery. Would be great.
Real quick, with a death rate of 7 per 1,000, maybe they could have come up with a better term than dead work. That's a little on the nose, actually.
All right, so number 5, weight checkmen that were elected by the workers. Right, so in other words, no corporate lackey going, yeah, that looks like only 1,800 pounds to me.
Yeah, so we get paid by a measurement of output. What should we use to get that right? Use a scale or the keen eye of the guys who hired gun-wielding thugs to keep us in our city cage.
Yeah.
Scale, yes. Okay, good. Write scale down. We're using the scale part.
That's a lot. Let's say number 6, the right to use any store and to choose their boarding houses and doctors.
A lot of these are just please not slavery.
Yep. Yeah. No, quite a few of those. Number 7, the final one, strict enforcement of Colorado's laws, such as mine safety rules, the abolition of scrip, which was like money that the company would pay you, but only the company store would take.
Coal.
Yes, right. Worse than coal. Yeah,
Can't get this in my wallet no matter what. It's just looked like George Costanza walking around with this thing.
Yeah, it's the gift certificate as a Christmas gift of a paycheck. Yeah. And also this included an end to the company guard system.
Oh, this company money thing. Jeff Bezos is reading these, shaking his head. Call accounting, have them scrap Amazon dimes. We're not doing it anymore.
Also call the NCAA. Have them scrap basketball and football. Now that we're talking about
Did you guys hear about this emancipation shit? Whoa. All right, so as reasonable as stop breaking the law and don't hire people to beat us and shoot rubber bullets at us is, the mine owners rejected the demands entirely, and in September of 1913, the UMWA called a strike.
Okay, to be fair to the mine owners, laws don't usually apply to the rich. They are probably just very confused by the whole
That's
system.
exactly actually what happened. All right, so first thing that happens here is the company kicks all the striking workers out of their company-owned homes, so they have to move into these tent villages that the union had set up in advance of the strike. Now, these tent villages were strategically located near the bottlenecks that any scabs the company brought in would have to go through to get to the various mines.
Fuck.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be awkward. Hey, Steve, where are you headed?
Hey, yeah, just going to the
To the not getting beaten to death?
to
Is
not
that where
getting
you're
beaten to
headed?
death. Yeah, that's where I'm going. Yep.
Cool.
Cool.
Have some barbecue.
You want some coal?
Yes.
Great. And we got beat to death.
So obviously this gets bloody right away. The mine owners hire the notorious Baldwin Felts Detective Agency to protect the strike breakers and harass the strikers. And by harass, by the way, they mean kill and maim. Okay, so the detectives went on to fire bullets into tents randomly, sometimes with people in them, and drive around in an improvised armored car mounted with a machine gun that they called the Death Special.
Hey, Bill, did you return that bulleted list of demands back to the strikers like we asked you to?
I may have misheard that.
All right, so to protect themselves from frequent sniper attacks, a lot of the striking miners went to ground. They started digging holes in their tents and living in basically mini World War I trenches and shit.
What?
Great. So, like Occupy Wall Street, but, you know, with leaders and goals. So,
And outcomes,
Similar
we'll
otherwise.
find out, yeah.
And a better ending.
it's true.
So wait a minute. The miners dug in? Like,
Yeah.
really? Who could have seen that one coming? What?
We never figured, boss. All right, so and keep in mind, by the way, that this shit is going on all over the state, not just one or two mines. So within a few months, you've basically got pitched battles between strikers and hastily deputized sheriffs. So on October 28th, then Governor Elias M. Ammons calls in the Colorado National Guard to put down the strike.
Great. Yeah, the governor called in guys with guns to attack the guys who were getting attacked by guys with guns.
Yes.
Because those guys who were being attacked were doing nothing too aggressively.
Very aggressively.
Nothing too aggressive. And speaking of organized nothing, let's take a quick break for some apropos of nothing.
Johnson,
Yes, sir.
you have the list of demands?
I do, sir.
Let's see. 8-hour workday. Impossible. No, it's not. So-called living wage. No. Sick days, health insurance. My God, do they want a pony as well, Johnson?
Exactly, sir.
So, what are they proposing? A strike?
Not exactly, sir.
Because the boys down in Havenshaw need work. Let them strike, I say.
Actually, sir.
Yes, the press will be bad, but we can't let these loonies use a little thing like a strike.
They aren't going to strike, sir.
Then what are they going to do? Tell me, man.
Well, they're going to kill and eat us, sir.
Oh, wait, they'll They do what now?
They're going to murder us and eat our flesh.
Let me get this straight. If we don't give in to their demands, then they are going to murder us.
Yes, sir.
And then feast upon our corpses. That's
Absolutely, sir. Yes.
You know, Johnson, a company is nothing without its workers. That's what I always
I
say.
will draw up the paperwork, sir.
And we're back. When we left off, a bunch of canaries got shot in the face, so nobody was sure if anything was wrong at the coal mine. What's next?
All right, well, as we all know, nothing calms civil unrest quicker than shooting those motherfuckers.
That's the motto on the police cars in Chicago, too.
It's funny because it's true. So, by and large, the mobilization of the National Guard did the trick. They were able to escort enough strikebreakers through the lines to successfully remove the strikers' leverage, and they were able to do it pretty quick. Unfortunately for the Colorado taxpayer, though, they weren't able to do it pretty cheap. So within a few months, with most of the strikers back to work anyway, the governor has to recall them.
Good strike, everybody. Lost our houses and our lives, but they never take our pride, because, you know, that's not a real thing. So we can only say we have it.
All right. So at this point, though, important to note, not all the strikes are over. And fearing that recalling the troops might lead to a resurgence of violence, the governor agreed to create a new National Guard company that consisted mostly of Colorado Fuel and Iron Mine Camp guards.
Wouldn't want any more violence. Good. Yeah.
Right.
What? No, you don't say.
Remember those guys that were shooting into the tents earlier from Baldwin Fells Detectives? Yeah, those guys. So they basically just gave those guys National Guard uniforms to wear and told them the secret handshake and said, you're the National Guard. So, you know, the military, but with less discipline.
They're like digging around for a name like, Blackwater's taken. Let's go Black Lung. Black Lung.
All right. So on the morning of April 20th, these National Guardsmen show up at one of these tent cities, claiming that there's a man in the camp that was being held there against their will. So the camp leader, a dude named Louis Tikas, tells them that they don't have any kidnapping victims, but eventually agrees to take a meeting with the militia commander at a train station about half a mile away. While he's in the meeting, 2 other companies of militia moved in and installed a machine gun on a ridge near the tent city.
Because Louis Tikas was the only guy who knew they called no machine guns at some point? No one could see?
This whole thing feels like a really great setup for a really fucked up surprise party for Lewis, though. Like, surprise! We machine gunned all your friends.
Well, okay, but it must have seemed like that, too, by the way, to him, because Tika started to realize something was fishy right away. He hurries back to the tent city to warn him that he thinks an attack is coming. So the miners mobilize. They try to outflank the militiamen, and during this maneuver, the gunfight starts, and hundreds of women and children in the tent city go running for their lives.
Bring your family to work day got weird. Oof.
Yeah, you know, see, so I think they've mostly done away with that now, but we do still have a problem with bring your machine gun to work day. That's still in effect.
Yeah.
Too much.
You can use your family as a human shield. I'm just saying.
It's actually in the HR training now. It's sad.
So this gunfight lasts all day with the militiamen firing from a high ridge. By 7 p.m., the whole camp is engulfed in flames, so the militia heads down from the ridge to loot what hasn't burned up yet. They execute the few strikers that haven't fled, including Tikas, but the deaths that really resonated with the country afterwards were the deaths of 2 women and 11 children who'd been in hiding in one of those aforementioned tent ditches when the tent was set on fire.
Jesus.
All 13 of them suffocated.
Guys, I feel bad. I think there might have been unintended consequences to our, hail of machine gun fire. Sad.
All right, now I should say that everything is kind of disputed here. It was disputed heavily by the mine owners at the time, and there was for a really long time, people said maybe the story was exaggerated, maybe it wasn't. All the archaeology seems to support the worst interpretations of this from the perspective of the mine companies are terrible. So with that in mind,
dinosaurs.
I want to.
That's what that word means to me.
I want to quote kind of a lengthy piece. Thanks for keeping this part serious for me, Eli. So I want to quote a kind of lengthy piece here from Julia May Courtney, who was writing for Mother Earth magazine at the time. This is a very pro-union magazine, so obviously she had an agenda here, but that doesn't mean it wasn't true. So according to her account, the militia, quote, fired the two largest buildings, the strikers' stores, and going from tent to tent, poured oil on the flimsy structures, setting fire to them. From the blazing tents rushed the women and children, only to be beaten back into the fire by the rain of bullets from the militia. The men rushed to the assistance of their families, and as they did so, they were dropped as the whirring messengers of death sped surely to their mark. End quote. And I quote this because A, I think it gives a sense of the real tragedy here, and B, I feel like whirring messengers of death is an underused synonym for bullets. I went to the store the other day and I'm like, hey, can I get some whirring messengers of death? And they didn't even know the fuck I was talking about. So I'm bringing it back.
Sorry, why were you buying bullets?
He lives in Georgia. I think it's required. Like, it's just...
That's right.
You can't get milk without a box of bullets.
If you want to get a fishing license.
It was take your family to work day.
I agree about this whirring messengers of death thing. It's the only singing telegram with a Doppler effect.
Good night, lady. Good night, lady. Good night, ladies. Nobody, we're gonna shoot you now. All right, I'm done.
Now, much to the surprise of the governor and the mine owners, the strategy of all-out massacre of families did not have the calming effect on the population they were hoping for. And when news of what was now being called the Ludlow Massacre spread, the miners erupted. Labor leaders issued a call to arms, not a super normal thing for labor leaders. In a town called Trinidad, the UMWA distributed arms to strikers at their union headquarters publicly, openly. And before the smoke had cleared over Ludlow, a wide-ranging guerrilla war between the militia and the coal miners had begun. So this war goes on for 10 days. Somewhere between 700 and 1,000 miners attacked one mine after another, driving off the guards, killing the ones that refused to be driven off, and setting fire to the buildings.
Hey, quick thing. Libertarians? Noah just described a market solution just now.
That's true, he did.
We don't have unions. That's the market solution.
So hundreds of state militia were mobilized, but they were outnumbered, they were disorganized, and the miners' orgy of vengeance kept going until Woodrow Wilson sent in federal troops.
Jesus.
The 10-day event, called the Colorado Coalfield War, added approximately 75 more deaths to the strike's total.
Yeah, so like an average day and a half for the mine workers.
Well, no, that's true. Yeah, actually.
Some old miner's about to retire that day. Just like, oh, we're doing a mercenary machine gun battle? Nice, okay. Because I was sure I would get killed in the mine. It's my last day. I was
Mercenary, that's 3.15 these days. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so after the dust settled, 408 strikers were arrested and 332 of them were charged with murder. In the end, only the leader of the strike was convicted of murder, though, and his verdict was eventually overturned by the Colorado Supreme Court. In addition, 22 National Guardsmen were court-martialed, all but one of whom were acquitted. The exception was Lieutenant Linderfelt, who was apparently the guy who shot Louis Tikas in the back of the head execution style. And he was given a light reprimand.
Naughty, naughty fascist goon. Naughty, naughty.
Yeah, pretty much, from what I can see, yeah.
No.
Do you promise to never, ever shoot that guy in the back of the head again?
All right, so now eventually the UMWA ran out of money and officially ended the strike on December 10th of 1914 without any concessions from the mine owners at all. That being said, the strike had a huge impact on the nation itself and the reputation of Colorado and those mine owners. Rockefeller Jr., who was running the company at this point, did agree to a whole bunch of extra shit for the miners and even allowed them to organize after he realized that not doing that could be crazy fucking expensive.
Okay, wait. We'll obey some of the laws, but not all of them. Is that the concession they won after?
No, honestly, it was kind of worse than that. It was more like, okay, we're not going to obey the laws, but we'll put ketchup in the break room, the little packets, and you can have as many as you want, right? It was a lot of shit like that. Now, the federal government also got involved.
Okay, I feel like sending in the National Guard was already pretty involved.
But beyond that. So responding to a national outcry, Congress directed the House Committee on Mines and Mining to investigate the event, and the report that they published in 1915 is often credited with having a huge influence in promoting child labor laws and standardizing the 8-hour workday.
Hey, libertarians, one more time. Noah just described a solution to the market solution. Maybe there's some other word for that market thing sometimes. Market dissolution? I don't know.
There you go. Just give it that one a day in court. Okay, so the site of the Ludlow mine today is a ghost town. But the United Mine Workers of America owns the massacre site itself, where they erected a granite monument in memory of all of those people who died for your lunch break, really.
All right. And if you had to summarize what you've learned in one sentence, what would it be?
You already have the goddamn right to work. That's just a play on fucking words. That's bullshit. Anyway.
And are you ready for the quiz?
I'm on strike. No, I'm in.
All right, Noah. Things have changed, and this could never happen again, except A, everywhere that makes everything you buy now.
Oh, God.
Or B, there's almost nothing you can do but feel shitty about knowing.
Secret answer C. If you buy organic and lie about medicine, you're allowed to not even feel shitty. Apparently.
That's true.
Correct, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. R.
That was the first question. That one's always correct.
All right. No, they made the made-for-TV series of this massacre is called A, Enemy Mine. B, Shaft.
Damn right.
C, Rockefeller Strikes Back. See, because they're striking.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah. Anyway, or D, Coal Miners Slaughter.
Oh, they might actually run with D. No, okay, just in case anybody failed to fully appreciate it, I want to answer A, Enemy Mine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely right.
All right, Noah, which of the following should be the title of this episode? A, Anthracitation Needed. Anthracite. B, Mein Kampf.
Phenomenal.
Or
That's a
C,
good one.
All Lungs Matter.
All right, well, I believe that's our first anthracite joke, so I'm going to go A, Anthracitation
That
Needed.
is correct.
I'm on a roll.
All right, Noah, obviously, we all want to know, what is the best way to establish unions in the still greatly under-collectivized United States? Is it A, punching people till they let you work human hours?
Jesus
B,
Christ.
kicking people till they pay you a living wage? C, stabbing people who think health insurance is a bargaining tool?
All right.
Or D, all of the above, you fucking pussies.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
What?
I think it's probably better if I don't answer that one, so you win just sort of by default, Eli. I concede.
win.
I think it's
That question was for you, Grandpa. That question was for you.
E, light the Notre Dame Cathedral on fire. Yeah, it might be that one. I guess the
soon.
winner is Eli. Congratulations.
Woo! I'm on a Tom essay next week.
All right, let's do it.
Tom, you're up. All right, well, for Noah, Cecil, Eli, and Tom, I'm Heath. Thanking you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week, and by then, Tom will be an expert on something else. Between now and then, you can hear from Tom and Cecil on cognitive dissonance, and you can hear from Eli, Noah, and myself on God-awful movies, The Scathing Atheist, and The Skeptocrat. And if you'd like to compensate us for the long tons of free podcasts we keep putting out, you can make a per-episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, listen to past episodes, connect with us on social media, or take a look at the show notes, be sure to check out citationpod.com.
No longer than 8 hours in a day. There, look good?
Let me see, sir. Yes, looks good to me, sir.
All right, and then they won't eat our dicks then, right?
No guarantees, sir.
Damn it.
The three conglomerates of Colorado today being weed, hacky sacks, and bad restaurants, in case anyone's wondering what they got going on today.
Now, okay, so even today, obviously, mining is some super dangerous shit. But needless to
Suck my dick.
Jesus fucking Christ. Little fucking podcast left, gentlemen. We explained what camping was before the record to heat for 25 goddamn minutes.
Fuck you. You never laugh at anybody's joke. I missed the show.
Amen, brother. Amen.
You never laugh. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Okay. I see how it's gonna be.
All right.
All right. Eli, go back and try it 3 more times. And we'll see.
That was it. Is I ruined the surprise because I can't pronounce conglomerates. Otherwise, it would have killed
Well,
everyone
not
else.
with of Colorado at the end. No, that's tough.
Here we go.
All right, so
So the 3 conglomerates of Colorado today being weed, hacky sacks, and bad restaurants.
because when you're high, it doesn't even matter what kind of food they give you because you're high.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I think Eli just quit the show.
I'm gonna fuck Heath's mom in so many sketches.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/getstarted. That's GREENLIGHT.com/getstarted.